Hello and welcome to our 5-day Creating Your Own In-Home Yoga Studio Challenge. If studio is a word that scares you, just think of it as your own yoga space that you are going to create in your home that's just for meeting yourself on your mat. I'm going to be showing you the workbook as we go through this challenge each day. It should have come to you immediately when you signed up, and I tried to design it where you could print it out and write directly on the pages of the workbook, or if you prefer, you don't need to print it off, or if you don't have a printer in your home, then this workbook you can use visually on the screen and then jot down your answers, your brainstorming somewhere else. It does not need to be on the pages of the workbook. So I hope that gives you some flexibility. For today, I want to start us off with the main issues we're going to actually be working with over the next 5 days and introducing them today as mindset and manifestation. So, mindset, a lot of times when the idea of practicing at home comes up, I hear sort of the same concerns. And so I thought, what a better way to arrange this challenge than to deal with each of these one at a time over the course of our 5 days together. And so you see them on this page of the workbook. Today, we're going to kind of start with this first one. I don't have enough space, or I don't have the right space. Tomorrow, day 2, the practice at home just quote unquote isn't the same. Day 3, we'll talk about family and our furry friends and family members. Day 4, the fact of I'm not as motivated or I'm easily distracted by other tasks I need to do around the house. And on that last day, the 5th day, saying, okay, if I have this space, what do I do? What resources do I use? I don't know what to follow. And I hope you'll also allow me on that last day to also introduce to you my offerings that might be useful for you. So I want you to spend a little bit of time today really thinking about what are the main struggles that you have when you try to practice yoga at home. What gives you the most concern? Is it one of these 5 things that I've introduced to you that we're going to specifically talk about in our challenge together? Or is there something else? And how can we begin to approach those obstacles and overcome those obstacles and bring forth a space in our home that is something that fulfills us and gives us what we're needing? So today, not enough space or not the right space. And not enough space, it really doesn't take a ton of space. I think often we think about the big studio spaces and think, oh, I don't have that big space in my home. Really, all you need is a space where your mat fits. And I did a Facebook Live a little while ago with my kids showing all sorts of places where you could fit your mat. So feel free to go look for that. It's pretty entertaining. They had a good time doing that with me. But one of the goals of it really was to show folks that you can put your mat somewhere, and as long as the mat fits, you can practice there. Now, whether that's going to be an ideal space and one you want to use all the time, that's what we're kind of working on in this challenge is where do you want to come back to? And what's going to help you create that space that draws you back? And so thinking about, okay, how much space do I need? Maybe get that mat out, move it around in different places of the home, and begin thinking about large goals. I want to start big picture first. And so if we think about manifestation and we start thinking about dreaming of that ideal space, think about your space that you have at home. What makes up your favorite spaces there? Think about the studio that you go and practice at, what makes it a place you want to come back to again and again? And think again, big picture. Is it that they feel a certain way? Is it that they have natural light coming in? Is it that they're private, you can shut the door and it's just a little space for you? Is it that they feel uncluttered compared to other parts of your life or your home? Like, what are those big elements? Is this going to be a space that, to be ideal for you, you always want to have your mat out? Or does it just need to be a space that you can bring your mat to? And start remembering spaces that you like, that you have practiced in before, or that you've seen, or that really already work for you energetically in your home, and start thinking about that first. Not necessarily exactly where or what it's going to look like or how this is all going to come together, but starting here on day one of saying, an ideal space is really where I'm going to feel great on my mat. When do I feel great? In what kind of space, or what do I need? And what do I maybe not? Right? Maybe I don't need that huge big space that I was thinking about. I really don't mind just doing it here in this little nook and cranny. And why might that be? Or what could I bring in this corner of my home that would make it more ideal and make it work? So that's what we're really focusing on today, starting with that mindset, manifestation. And remember that in your first email, you have a manifestation meditation that I'm going to cue you to use every day as we go through this challenge. And keep an open mind, right? Keep those big ideals in mind for today as you do your meditation, and see what begins to come to you. See what comes to mind. See what you begin attracting and noticing. So have a great first meditation. Have a great time exploring and thinking about your ideal space. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.